Welcome back everyone, I'm K Plays Games and this is Surviving Mars. We played this game once on this channel way back in January 2021 and I said at the time that the game had immense replay value, and indeed it does because I still play it myself regularly, but we never featured it on the channel for some reason, so let's fix that right now. First of all, what is Surviving Mars? As you can imagine from the title, it is all about surviving on the planet Mars and building a human colony to expand humanity's influence across the stars. It's set in the relatively near future. There are quite some silly elements to it, there are some serious elements to it. It's a really good game. The type of game it is hard to categorise. Some people have called it a space adventure game, some people have called it a resource management city builder, some people have called it a survival game. And it is pretty much all of these things and a few other things as well, because the type of game it is changes as you play it. So let's click new game and get right into it. You can of course do the tutorial. The tutorial for this game is excellent, so feel free to do that if you wish. The game came out in 2017 and during development it had many DLCs and even quite a few community mods got rolled into the game as a whole because they were so good. Speaking of mods, I am of course using lots of mods. The mod list will be in the description below, but me being me, almost all of the mods I'm using are simply for informational or quality of life purposes. There are only 2 mods I believe which actually change the gameplay, and they're very light touches, and I will explain them when we meet them. So let's click new game and get into it. Okay, mission sponsor. This is the nation or agency which is sending us to Mars. When you mouse over them, it tells you the difficulty and what their special abilities are. As we see, International Mars Mission has a Zeus rocket, advanced Stirling generator, more rules. They all have their own unique buildings and vehicles and rules and rare metals price and different research amounts per sol, all that stuff. Last time out, I believe we played as Blue Sun Corporation. There are 13 mission sponsors, so let's pick one at random, shall we? Here we are with our good friend Mr. Random Number Generator. Let's go 1 to 13. And at number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we are Brazil. The commander profile is basically you. This is who you are playing as. This is the specialization of your commander. These, as you see, have even more rules, and most of them unlock a technology. That's the bonus tech thing you see here. I believe last time out we had a doctor, so there's 12 of these. So let's again go back to the random number generator and pick a new number. 1 to 12, 7. Jolly good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it looks like we're going to be a psychologist. Colony logo, this is what is plastered on the side of your buildings. It doesn't really do anything, so we'll just pick one at random. Mysteries are like a storyline that you go through. There's usually only one. Again, I have completed them all. We'll just do a random one. I believe the last time we did Inner Light. I'm just going to pick random. I'm not going to roll one because I don't like knowing what the story is going to be, because then that affects how I'm going to play the game, because I know what they're all like and I know how to prepare for each of them. So we're just going to go random here. Now, rival colonies were introduced in the Space Race DLC. These are between 1 and 3 other colonies from other nations which are on Mars at the same time, and they race you to milestones and can steal some research from you. And the main thing I don't like about them is that you can trade with them, and trading removes most of the challenge from the game because you can just trade whatever you have for whatever you need. So I am going to turn these all off. None, none, and none. Game rules can significantly change the game. As you see, they all have lots of stuff. You can't import food, no specialists allowed, base production of all resources is doubled, so that's a positive one. Then we won't be doing any of that. So we'll just select no game rules. And this is what we've ended up with. The difficulty challenge is 210%. And that's all the rules we've selected, so let's go next. Okay, this is our rocket. This is the first rocket we're sending to Mars. Has a cargo capacity of 50,000 kilos, and we have $6.7 billion remaining. The game has pre-selected a loadout. You can of course change this if you wish, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to accept what the game wants to give us. It's giving us 3 orbital probes, 10 electronics, 15 machine parts, 10 polymers, 6 drones, who are the things that do all the work, an RC transport, which is a flatbed truck which you can send out to pick things up. That's great. And some prefabricated buildings. We have 4 of them. You click on it and we'll have a look. We have 1 drone hub that gives commands to drones. A fuel refinery for converting water and power into fuel to fuel the rocket. That's good. Moisture evaporator to suck moisture out of the air. That's good. And a Stirling generator to power all of that. That's also quite good. Okay, so we'll just go next. And this is the planet Mars. As we see, there are some colony sites that we can select. Like these ones with the rocket are considered to be really good. They have a high number of resources and a low number of threats. But they're no fun. As you see, if you drag your mouse around, you can literally go to any pixel on the planet and they'll all have different levels of threats and different levels of resource. So I'm just going to click random. Okay, it looks like we're going all the way to the South Pole. Not very many metals, hardly any concrete, not much water, and an equal number of dust devils, meteors, cold waves, and not very many dust storms. This actually looks relatively stable. The threats are not huge, the resources are not huge. Okay, we'll do that. Let's go.
Welcome to Mars.
And welcome to Information Overload. There is a lot of stuff on the screen right now. Okay, the main view is the map. It is 10 squares long, 10 squares deep. This gives you 100 squares to build on. We cannot build outside the boundaries of this map. This is us for the entire playthrough. We can, if we want, through terraforming and flatten the entire map, but that'd be a bit boring. We cannot see what is in any of these squares. We don't know what resources are in them or what dangers are in them until we scan them. To scan it, you just click and then it will very slowly scan it and then tell you what's in it. You can rack up to 10. There are, of course, mods which lets you rack up 100, which is the whole map. We'll just cancel that just now. At the minute, we're paused, which is a good thing. You begin the game with one of the squares uncovered, so we'll just use the scroll wheel to zoom in. Now, when we zoom back out, we see one of the mods I have come into action. These 46 and 3 is the number of metals and polymers which are just lying out in the surface. We zoom in. This is a big pile of metals. That's a basic resource. You just pick it up off the floor. And there's some polymers here, and that's quite a rare material. Now this cracked black thing here will very, very, very slowly produce polymers. I mean, it will be a complete surprise if it produces any more polymers. But that's what it's there for. This is something good. This is a patch of concrete, which we can harvest with a building. On the right hand side we see it says there are 1,662 units of concrete, and there's this grade thing. The grade is how quickly you can access these. If it was very high, we would get the 1,600 concrete very quickly. This is very low, so it's going to take quite a long time to get the 1,600 concrete. Concrete is a basic building material we're going to need to build all the rest of our buildings, so having some concrete is nice. And this little blue thing is a research boost. If we build a dome within range of this, all of our research buildings will be improved by 10%. That's also quite nice. But one thing I do quite like to find right at the start of the game is rare metals. Rare metals can be mined by humans, sent back to Earth for money, and you use money to A, get yourself out of a tight spot, or B, just buy more stuff. Right, next things, on the top left, this is your notification feed telling us we have no active research and no sectors being scanned. We'll just right click to dismiss that. I'll talk about research in a moment. And this is the Green Planet DLC, terraforming. We'll just right click to get rid of that. Okay, that's that done. So we said we wanted to find rare metals. When you mouse over the unscanned squares, it tells you what it thinks is there. That does not mean it will be here. It just says there's a decent chance for it. Okay, well, I've moused over all the squares on the plateau, and none of them said rare metal, so that's not good. I'm just going to quickly go around the map, and anything that says rare metals, I'll just click on it, just so it's scanning. Well, it's not scanning, it's just to tell myself where they all are. It thinks there's one there, one there. Considering that this map said everything was scarce, that's quite a few rare metals. There's another one there. Alright, so the game reckons that there's rare metals either here or here. Or here, or here, or down here. We of course do not have to land a rocket on the uncovered square, we can completely ignore that, and we can instantly scan things using these orbital probes. We have 3 of them. So where do we think we want to go? Rare metals, concrete, rare metals, concrete. Now, we're not seeing an awful lot of water. Water is usually found in these like crater formations. If we see we mouse over it, high chance of water, high chance of water. And that one's not saying high chance of water, but that one is. It's probably in the crater. That one reckons it has rare metals research and water. So why don't we just click on this one? No, there was not rare metals research and water. There was a vista. When you build a dome within range of this, every house within the dome gets a comfort boost of 10. That's quite nice. But we've uncovered another hazard. These swirly things will generate dust devils, and dust devils will roam out from this thing all the way around here. They'll cover all our buildings with dust and break them. So that is a bust. We're not going there. As we see, it was a lie. There was no rare metals or anything else. There was nothing but a vista. I think I'm going to go for number 2 next. Nope, just concrete, no rare metals. This is not looking good. And the last one was number 1. Alright, we have rare metals. But we also have another dust devil spawner. Oh joy, that's not great. And there's no concrete here either. Okay. Not good. Not a good start. Maybe we will go up on the plateau. After all, how many concrete is this? 390 average. Terrible. Other things we need to consider at the start are all the icons at the bottom. This is the build menu. This is how you build things. There are various categories of things to build. Many things. We'll go through them all as we need them. That's the build menu. This is the map overview, just zooms in and out, or you can just use the scroll wheel to do that. Resupply, request a new cargo or passenger rocket from Earth. We'll click that. Okay, it looks like we only have 1 rocket. Some sponsors have up to 5, some have 2, 3, 4. As Brazil, we only have 1 rocket. So that's why cargo rocket and passenger rocket are blanked out. That's not good. We can purchase these large supply pods. I believe these cost 100 million each, though it looks like we've got some free, so maybe we'll have to use these to bring more stuff in. What we can do is land our rocket on Mars, make lots of fuel, fuel it up, send it back to Earth. That's going to take quite some time. Right, research. This is the big one. There are 7 research trees. Terraforming, which is introduced in the Green Planet DLC. Biotech, engineering, robotics, physics and social, they all do different things. And number 7 is breakthroughs, and you will notice there is nothing in the breakthrough thing because we haven't found any breakthroughs yet. The way research works is you click on something, it adds it to the queue. As we see, this takes 1000 research to complete this training. At the moment, we are only generating 100 research points per sol, so it will take us 10 sols to complete this training. And when it's complete, we will get the thing it says. Now, the way that the research is organised is that it's done in batches of 5. So, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one will always be in these 5 places, but they will all be mixed. So, sometimes Mars crowdfunding can be at the top, as it is for us, and sometimes it will be in position number 5. This ensures that all the high-grade tech is all the way down at the bottom of the tree. The lower down the tree you go, the more and more research it demands. The ones down here will cost about 60, 70, 80,000, something like that, and we're only doing 100 a day, so that's not great. You will notice, however, that we have something unlocked. This was unlocked by our commander's ability. So we begin the game with the Sanatorium Spire, which cures flaws from our colonists. It's pretty nice. So, which research do we want to do? There are 3 researches I always want at the start of the game. One of them is in biotech, and it's, well, luckily it's this one. Usually you'd have to go hunting for it, but luckily farm is here. Farms are huge big buildings that you put inside domes and they produce an awful lot of food. Before you unlock this, the only thing you can build are hydroponics, and hydroponics are absolutely bloody awful. If you have the Project Leica DLC, you will also have access to ranches. Ranches are completely overpowered. I don't like using them, so we're not going to use them. We're just going to put farm at the top. The next one I want is in robotics, and the game's been very kind to us again. And the one I want is at the top. Generates 100 research per sol for each RC Explorer vehicle. We don't have one of these, but I'm going to buy one. And in fact, I'd rather that was at the top, so we'll just use the buttons to move it to the top. There is another one in social, which provides an extra 100 research, but it's not at the top. We're going to have to uncover it. And the way you uncover it, when you complete one research, the next one down will be uncovered. Or you can scan things on the map, which will uncover more of them, so you can jump ahead. And there's one in physics I'm going to want as well. During this playthrough, we very probably will research every single tech in every single tree. So all that really matters is the early game and getting them done. Other ways we can get research points are from Milestones. We'll just click this. This is the same for every single sponsor on every single playthrough. You do the activity on the right, you get paid instantly the amount of research points on the left. So if we scan an anomaly on the map, we'll be rewarded with 250 research. If we find water, we'll get 250. If we launch a rocket, we'll get 250. And the further down you go, the more difficult they become. All these ones at the bottom will take a very, very long time. But that is something you can almost keep an eye on. This is the command center. This is full of graphs and stats, and you can really nerd out and get right into all the nitty-gritty of your colony. I've gotten pretty good at this game, so I never really have to look at this, so we'll just never look at the command center again unless we're trying to find some specific colonists. Right, mission profile. This is a list of tasks which our sponsor wants us to do, and they will pay us for it. Okay, we do have something which is timed. We have to land colonists on Mars by Sol 15. Now, as you remember, we only have one rocket, so we're going to have to land this rocket on Mars, produce fuel as fast as we can, send that rocket back to Earth, load it up with people, and get it back to Mars before Sol 15. That's quite a task, so we're going to have to really get moving on that. And that's going to push us into getting humans on Mars way earlier than I usually would. Humans are fragile and temperamental beings. I like to put off bringing them to Mars as long as possible, but looks like we're being forced into bringing them on right away. That's good fun. And when we land a colonist on Mars by Sol 15, we will get instantly 4,000 research points. That's quite nice. And it will apply them instantly to whatever we have in the queue. Okay, export 60 rare metals by the end of Sol 30. Ooh, that's pretty difficult as well. That's another timed thing. If you do that, we'll get 10 free supply pods. Well, that's nice, because supply pods cost 100 mil. So that's basically giving us $1 billion in supply pod costs. That's nice. Have 4 domes or spires, not timed. Reward is 1 fusion reactor prefab. That's a big building that generates power when you put humans inside it to work in it. Have a dome connected to 3 other domes. We'll get 3 celebrity applicants. Celebrities are good. When they're happy, they generate money, and money's always nice. And the one at the bottom, have 1 dome with more than 200 colonists in it. That either means building a great big dome and having some low density housing, or building a smaller dome with lots of high density housing. And that will give us $3 billion. Alright, research per sol, 100. That can be increased as the game goes on. Rare metals price, 35 million. For each unit of rare metals we export, each rocket can carry 30. So that means we're going to need 2 rockets worth back to Earth before Sol 30. Man, our one rocket is going to have to go back and forth to Earth about 3 times. Once to pick up humans, twice to deliver rare metals. And luckily for us, we have a rare metals refinery, which turns waste rock into rare metals, so we didn't have to go looking for rare metals at all. So that's nice. Colonists grant funding when they arrive on Mars. Okay, so we're being incentivized to bring people to Mars to earn money. Passages cost no resources and are constructed instantly. Passages are tunnels which link domes together. Usually you don't want to do this because when people work or use utilities in the dome they don't live in, there's usually a little penalty. But Brazil has no penalties for passages, so that's nice. So we're being encouraged to bring lots of humans here and interconnect all our domes together into a big sprawling city. Well, that's nice. And we do indeed start the game with 5 free large supply pods. Well, that's good, because large just means they hold more resources, and because we only have one rocket, we're going to have to make use of these 5 large supply pods. Commander profile Psychologist. Colonists recover 5 additional sanity while resting in their homes. Each night, if sanity damage happens from disasters, or if they work night shift, or if they work outside the dome, they do recover a small amount when they sleep each night, and because our commander is a psychologist, they're going to get an additional 5, so that's quite nice. Okay, so in a war against the clock, for 2 things. We have to get the rocket fueled as quick as we can, send it back to Earth, bring humans here. And we also need to make rare metals as quick as we can, put them in the rocket, and send them back to Earth. Okay, good to know. And the last button is the Planetary View. At the minute, there's nothing on it other than our colony. If we have rival colonies, we could click on them and see what all the resources were. And during the game, other things will pop up on this map, which you investigate by fueling up a rocket and sending it to the anomaly. But planetary anomalies will be quite some way away. Okay, so I think we'll just cancel all the scans we're doing, because we don't need rare metals. Simply because we know there are some metals here and some concrete here, I think we're going to actually build our colony up here. Now, the rare metals refinery said it changes waste rock into rare metals, so we can generate waste rock by terraforming. Like, we'll demolish all this and turn it into a great big pile of waste rock. Not only will that give us waste rock to make into rare metals, which will make into money, which will make into our sponsor goal, it will also flatten the area and give us more building space, so I like the look of that. That's the radio for different soundtracks, lots of different channels, they're all really good. This is the information bar. This used to be all the information you had. It was replaced by a mod, which is at the top, but that mod was then rolled into the base game, so this sidebar, you don't really need it anymore. You can do it all from the top. And that's the main menu. Speed-wise, the game has 3 speeds. Normal speed 3 times and 5 times. I have a mod which has changed the 3 into 5 times and the 5 into 10 times. Even though it says it's 3 and 5, it's actually 5 and 10. So I'll be zipping through this game. Okay, before we actually start playing, let's go through all the stuff at the top. I know we're 25 minutes in and I'm still yakking on. We haven't actually done anything yet. That's how much money we have. That's how much research we have. What we're researching. That's how much power, oxygen and water we have. These are vital resources. Do not run out of these. These are the basic resources. Metals, concrete, food and rare metals. These are the advanced things. Polymers, machine parts, fuel and electronics. These are all built in factories. These are all harvested directly from the ground, or food you kind of make in a factory. Food should really be over here. How much waste rock we have, how many prefabricated buildings we have, how many drones, how many humans, how many tourists, how many empty houses and how many homeless people, how many jobs we have and how many unemployed people. And the big 4 down here are terraforming. Terraforming takes a very long time. There's an entire tech tree for it, as you saw, but terraforming progress will lessen the effect of and then completely eliminate natural disasters, so that's quite nice. Right, that's enough talking. Let's get this rocket landed. You mouse over it, you'll see it's blinking away because it's ready to land. It tells you what's in it, and this is where we go. Okay, what do these 2 rings around it mean? The inner white ring is the distance at which this rocket will generate dust when it lifts off and lands. So you don't want to build any buildings within that because they'll get covered in dusts, and that's not a good thing. You can't land there because it's too close to this. Don't want to land here because it'll overlap the deposit. And the outer blue ring is the distance at which you can give commands to drones, because it has a built-in drone control unit in it. So I think we'll just then pretty much plop it right there. And we'll unpause the game. Here it comes. Another thing I like about this game is just how close you can zoom in. You can zoom all the way in. Here is our one and only rocket with the badge we chose at the start of the game in it. There's our flatbed lorry. And some drones. Look at these little guys, they're so cute. Now at the minute, they're not doing anything because we haven't told them to do anything. These guys will automatically do any tasks in the colony. These are your builders. See, at the minute, everything's just like hanging around, not doing anything. Because we haven't told them to empty the rocket. How do we empty the rocket? Well, we need to tell them to put the things on a resource pad. Let's just left click this guy to select him, right click to give him a command, he'll get out of the way. Right, go to the build menu, either left click this or just right click on the map, and we'll go to Storages, Universal Depot. This stores 30 of each resource, so we'll just put one down right here. And the drones will spring into action very slowly and take out the 10 polymers, 10 electronics and 15 machine parts which we have. There they are. And they'll put them on the pad. Now each resource is immediately identifiable. Purple ones are polymers, the green ones are electronic parts, the white ones are machine parts. Everything's colour coded so you can see at a glance exactly what you have in your colony. Right, Mr. Flatbed, what are we going to do with him? As we see, he has a capacity of 30 units. So he can go and pick stuff up. But the drones are within range to pick up all this stuff. Now, they're not going to pick this up because this pad only holds 30 and there's more than 30 metals. So we'll put down some metals only pads. These are called depots, resource specific depots. As we see when we mouse over, each of these little depots stores 180 units of stuff. I'm going to put down quite a few metals pads because there are going to be quite a few metals lying on the surface. As we know, in this one square alone, there's 46. In this square, there's 31. In this square, there's 41. There are hundreds, possibly thousands of units of metals lying out on the surface of this map. All we have to do is uncover them and tell our flatbed to go and pick them up. But because all the metals in this square are within control range of this rocket, the drones will do that. Right, the next thing that the drones are going to have to do is build us some buildings. As we see, if we mouse over the prefabs tab, we do indeed have our prefabricated little colony. We know we need to get this rocket fueled and back to Earth as soon as we can to bring humans here and to export rare metals, so let's get on that. Right click the build menu. First thing we're going to need is production. We're going to need a concrete extractor to extract this concrete to build the rest of the colony. Here we are. See, it will only be happy when it's actually on a patch of concrete. We don't want to build it within this red ring because that's the dust range of the rocket. And this thing itself has a white border, which is its own dust range. So when this is working, it will be producing dust. Dust's not good. I think we'll angle it like this. Just remember to not build any more buildings within its dust range. It doesn't matter where on the resource you put it, as long as it's white, it's happy. These things marked in blue means that drones will have to go and demolish the things in blue before they can build a building. Let's just whack it here. Boop, saying no cable connection. So the way that this works, the drones will bring 5 units of metals and 2 machine parts and put them on this little pad, and then they will build a building because it is not prefabricated. Prefabs, and the drones will simply build them. So what we're going to have to do is build a drone hub, because eventually we're going to launch this rocket back to Earth, and that means there'll be nothing in the colony to give orders to the drones, and they'll stop working, so that's not good. Let's just put this in here so its control range covers everything in this square, and is outside the dust range, so that's good. We'll put that there. As you'll see, there is no little building pad here, and it's a darker blue. That's because it's a prefab. The drones will just simply build it. This thing's going to need power, that's going to need power. Luckily we have one power supply, we have a Stirling generator, we'll just plop that down there. One other thing we should build right now is a sensor tower. Boosts the scanning speed, and is especially for nearby sectors, and it extends the advance warning for disasters. Very good things to have. Just kind of put that there. This does have a building pad because it's not prefab. It only needs 1 metals and 1 electronics. Nice and cheap. Speaking of scanning, we should probably start scanning things. We'll just do this whole big plateau that we're up on. We'll talk about building ramps and getting out of here in a moment. Now, the good thing about these sensor towers is that their scanning boost is proximity based. The square it's in will get 400% scan speed. The ones further out will get between 300 and 250, then 100, and then like it'll tail off. But even this one all the way down here and the one all the way up here will still get a 10% scan speed bonus because we have one sensor tower. What I like to do early game is build a network of 9 or 10 sensor towers all the way across the map, so almost every square on the map will have a scanning speed of about 250 to 300. That significantly speeds up the progress of uncovering everything on the map, which is something you do really want to do. And of course it will give us a longer early warning of disasters. I believe once you get 6 sensor towers, that maxes out the early warning at 3 sols, 6 hours, something like that. So that's all good stuff. Right, other things we need to build straight away are the fuel refinery. So that is under production. Fuel refinery. The way power transfers in this game, you can either draw power cables to things, or you can just build them touching each other. And when they're touching each other, they'll automatically generate the power. So let's just put this down here, touching the drone control thing. That's that. Drone control's nearly built. Power generator's nearly built. Good, it's been built, but it's saying I'm not connected to anything. I'm not supplying power to anything. What have you done, you idiot? But it's okay, because the drone hub's nearly built as well. There it is. So this is drawing 3 power. When we click on this, we'll see we're producing 10 power. The demand is 3. And that prefab's nearly built as well already. And the thing about Stirling generators, indeed, if we open it, it will produce 10 more power. But then it will start requesting maintenance. Maintenance is this bar here. Every building, most buildings have a maintenance bar, which slowly creeps up over time. When it gets to the end, it will require this much resources to be delivered to the building to maintain it, otherwise it will break down and stop working. So at the moment, I'm not going to open the Stirling generator because I'd rather not be spending my polymers on fixing this thing up. I'd rather it just worked on its own. Nothing we have at the moment will stop this thing needing maintenance, so we are going to run out of electronics. We only have 10, and this is going to need 1 every time this maintenance bar goes up. Not great, but unavoidable. This prefab's nearly built as well. Let's have a look at the fuel refinery. Okay, it's saying we have this pipe icon. That's because it's not connected to anything. This needs water and power. It has the power, it doesn't have the water. So let's right click, go to life support, moisture evaporator. Hurrah, here's a moisture evaporator. This will provide this thing with all the water it needs. We'll just rotate that around, kind of stick it in here, just so it's touching, so we don't need to build cables. And we'll need to link these together with pipes, which you find in the life support menu. Pipe. Just connect them up like so. I believe that'll work. Right, let's speed it along a little bit, shall we? Here comes a moisture evaporator. We need 1 unit of metals. Here comes a drone. He's bringing the metals. And done. Okay, now we have this lightning icon because there's not enough power. We have a demand of 13 and we're only producing 10. Now I did say I don't want to open this, and I really don't. So let's build a different power generator. If you go to power, here are all the options. We can make wind turbines and large wind turbines, but these require machine parts to be maintained, and we don't produce our own machine parts. The only machine parts we have are the ones we brought on the rocket. I don't want to use these. We can use solar panels because all these require for maintenance is metals, and we know there's going to be hundreds of units of metals all around the map. But these only work during the day. At night they'll be turned off, so we'll have to choose what to turn off at night. Or we can build lots of them and they will transfer the power into power accumulators, and then the power accumulators will drain at night to keep everything running. But these have a maintenance of polymers. We've only got 10. Remember, we didn't want to open this to do the polymer because we'll run out of polymers, so we're going to have to like turn this and this off at night, which is not great, but it's kind of unavoidable. Right, let's build some solar panels. We'll just put them down here, just touching everything. I believe these ones are 5 power each, yes, so that's 5, 10. Remember, this needs power as well. How much power does it need? We'll check. We'll go to production, mouse over concrete extractor. That needs 5. So that's 5. That's 5. That's 3. That's 13. That's 5. That's 18. And the central tower itself, call it 20. So we need 20. That's 10. That's 5. That's 5. Okay, that should be enough. Let's build this little colony, shall we? Hey, you. The easiest way to use a flatbed is to do transport routes. So you click this button, you say go here, go to this area within this blue circle, pick up all the metals you find here, and then bring it back, and it'll go and do that. Here come the drones, they're bringing all the metals, they're building all the stuff. That should get all this stuff going. There we go, lovely. So to turn these off at night, you left click them. This is the 3 shifts. So we'll just say night shift off, and the water night shift off. And this is saying I don't have any power either, because we haven't drawn a power line to it. So right click, go to power, power cables, left click where you want to start, and then just drag it. There we go. And a drone will bring some metal. Here he is. And he'll build that for us. You want to keep your power lines as short as possible, because power lines will produce power line faults. Okay, and he's working as well. Okay, so at night, our demand is 10. 5 from this, 3 from that, 2 from that, that's fine. Okay, so during the day, these will work. During the night, everything else will work. So this is going to be producing 8 fuel per saw. It would have been 12 if we'd run it during the night, but we can't because we haven't got enough power at night. A little bit annoying. The rocket needs 50. So 50 divided by 8, how much is that? So it's going to take us nearly 7 days to get the rocket refueled. Then it's going to spend a day going back to Earth. Then it's going to have to come here almost immediately with humans and land them here by Sol 15. Okay. Other things we need for humans is a dome. We're going to have to give them somewhere to live, and domes require power and water and oxygen and like somewhere to be built. Okay, bit of a challenge this one, but we shall survive. We'll just spin on a little bit. Okay, there we are. Sensor tower boost 290, 238, 326. Hey, we found something. There we are. As we go further out, sensor tower boost 10%. Even the ones all the way down here have 10%. Right, next thing we need to discuss are these large supply pods. We need more stuff. We don't have any stuff. We need some. It looks like this... Yeah, he's finished. He's picked up all the stuff. That's good. And the drones are just about to finish this. I'm not quite sure why he thinks he's stopped, because that was within the range of his thing. Go there, get the metals and bring them back, you idiot. Right, large supply pods. Let's talk about this. Things we want is an RC commander. This is a mobile drone control hub. Very useful in emergencies. So we're having it. Even though that only took 10,000 kilos, we're only seemingly allowed to put 1 remote control vehicle on our rocket. On our supply pod. That's okay. Electronics, we're pretty low on these. Let's just bring lots of electronics and launch it. Here it is, it's on the way. Next one. We know we have 5 of these, so let's use 5. RC Explorer. These things are absolutely vital. That yellow ping on the map, which we just uncovered, this one here, you send an RC Explorer here, it spends some time scanning it, and then it gives you various bonuses. This one is a key. This will unlock more technologies for us, which is exactly what we want. And because we're doing the Explorer AI thing, it will give us 100 extra research. It will double the research just from existing. So that's also a reason we are definitely going to bring one of these. Supply pod, RC Explorer, yes please. Probably a mix of polymers and machine parts for you, because domes need polymers to be built and maintained, so that's why we need them. Machine parts are just going to be useful for maintaining our machines, like that and that. As we see, the maintenance bar is not slow. We've only been going for like half a day and it's already here and here. If this was within the dust range of the other building, this goes up faster. So anything with a dust radius, make sure nothing is within the dust radius, unless you're like spending all your resources on maintenance. Luckily this only requires metals, these only require metals, that only requires metals, that doesn't require anything as long as it's closed. So yeah, most of the stuff we have is only metals. That is electronics, that is machine parts. Right, let's go super speed, get everything here. One other thing we should build right now, actually, is a rare metals refinery. So we'll go to production, rare metals refinery. Okay, this needs 10 power. And it needs machine parts or maintenance, because of course it does, but it will produce 3 rare metals a day if we can keep it supplied with waste rock. So we'll just slap it down here. I know it says there's not enough power, because there's not. It needs 10 power. So we'll just build another 2 solar panels, like that and like that, and that will provide it the 10 power. Again, we'll turn that off at night. This needs waste rock, and waste rock has its own dedicated storage and dumping site, so we'll just put a little dumping site here. That will store all the waste rock for this building. We don't care if the dumping site's within the dust range, so we'll just slap that down there, because this building itself is actually producing a very small amount of waste rock, as well as some concrete. Oh, in fact, talking of concrete, this is going to produce 1600 concrete, so let's put down enough concrete depots for that, shall we? These hold what, 180 each? We're going to need like 10? Crikey. Yeah, we'll just build 6 just now, because we'll be consuming concrete as well at some point. Randomly, you will get these story bits appear, so let's have a look at this. Mandatory upgrades. The mission HQ on Earth has declared the effectiveness of our resource extraction as main priority. The extractor amplification project has received massive funding increase, and a lot of scientific focus has been shifted towards it. The top brass wants you to begin installing new upgrades as soon as possible. The effect is the tech extractor amplification has been revealed, and it costs 50% less. And we can request scientific grants, which reveals the rest of the application techs, and they cost 20% less research, which is nice. Or we can request an instant supply pod, which has 10 drones and 60 polymers. We're right at the start of the game. Polymers are like gold dust, so yes, number 1 please. And that's the one we've just requested, and it's ready to land already. So that's nice. These little story bits are sometimes good. That will give us lots. Again, this has a little dust range. We'll just put this over here, so it's not going to quote anything with dust. It'll land, the drones will empty it out. In fact, we're going to need a polymers depot for all these polymers, so we'll just put that there. In fact, I'm going to do one for machine parts and electronics as well, just in the hope that we get more than 30 of them. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So what we saw there was an asteroid. This damn thing. These things just randomly appear and just smash bits of your base. So I shouldn't really have built everything that close, but you know, I kind of know what I'm doing. Right, these are the 60 polymers which have been delivered. This is the supply pod which brought them here. This will just stay here forever until we demolish it, and we'll get 5 metals from demolishing it, so get on with that, Mr. Jones. Here we go. And the drones are going to be taking the waste rock from this, putting it in here, and we'll slowly convert it to rare metals, and they will go back on the rocket. Other ways I can get waste rock, as I said, is to demolish all this stuff. So let's have a look at doing that. Go to landscaping and flatten. You can make this bigger with T, or make it smaller with R. We'll just make it a little bit small. What we want is for something to say excess waste rock. Yes, there we go. Demolishing that will give us 600 waste rock. That's a nice amount. That will keep that going for quite some time. Scanned. It's a little bit quiet. Let's turn the radio on. As I said, the soundtrack is lovely, so we might as well have some music. Alright, our other supply pods have made it we'll just put them over here and over here, just so the dust range is way away from everything else. And this will be our other remote controls. Okay, Mr. Explorer, are you ready to scan? Because we have something for you to scan. Scan that anomaly. Now that will unlock some techs, hopefully the one in social, which will provide us 100 research, or the one in physics, which I want, which is autonomous sensors, which means that these things no longer require any... Oh, I forgot to turn that off at night. Let's do that. Which means that these sensor towers no longer require power or maintenance, which means we can then build a network of them across the map and not have to ever worry about them again. So let's do that, and we'll demolish these 2 pods because we don't need them anymore. Yeah, the game's like, you don't have anything stored up. What are you doing? Well, we don't need to have anything stored up at the moment, game. This is our RC Commander. He has 4 out of a maximum of 8 drones. This is his control range. As we see, it's...
achieved.
Just pause the game while all that happened. His drone control area is very small. It's nowhere near as big as the buildings are. But he is at least mobile. You can change the service area, so if you want this drone hub to only look after stuff here, you can change a slider, so that means its drones will only ever operate within this area. Usually you just have them all at max, because why wouldn't you? Right, so it looks like this guy's drones are within range of this huge landscaping project, so that's fine. And we did indeed do a milestone, because we scanned something and we got 250 research from that, and that sped along this. That's the one we want. Excellent. That goes second top. Right, we've been very lucky with all the stuff we want at the top. We just speed along. Right, what can we do with this drone commander? I did say we're going to be building ramps to get down to explore the rest of the map, and indeed we'll do that now. So, right click, go to landscaping, ramp, make it as small as you can, left click here, and then drag it until it goes white, and that's going to produce 87.3 excess waste rock as well. Excellent. In the olden days of this game, these landscaping projects would take forever. It has since been completely rebalanced, and now they take like 5 seconds. Kinda takes a challenge out of the game. I mean, before the Green Planet DLC, I think it was, that introduced the ability to terraform and flatten and build ramps, you couldn't do any of that. And the only way to change elevation was to build these infrastructure things called tunnels, which cost 30 machine parts, 20 metals and 80 concrete. Very expensive. Tunnels are still useful these days because they actually transfer water, oxygen and power as well over long distances. And they never break, so instead of running huge long lines of cables and pipes which can break, you'll just build one tunnel which will transport it across a huge distance and it can never break down. Our scanning's going well. We've already uncovered 4 squares, so that's good. Just get our drone control guy down here. Right, everything's looking pretty good. I know, nothing's stored up. So I'm just going to let this spin on for a little while, and I'll bring you back when everything's been done.
Resources are low. Sector scanned.
And indeed, as I said, these ramps take about 5 seconds. That was built in like no time at all. Right, that's good, because our flatbed is just sitting around doing nothing. Let's start sending him out to the places we've uncovered. Go to the square, pick up all the metals, bring him back. Go. You, what can you do? Not too much else, really. Unless we want to build a ramp. Yeah, we'll build a few more ramps. Why not? It's good to have Because if we want to get here, I'll have to drive all the way around here and then here. So we'll build another ramp here. Right click, landscaping, ramp, build it here, take it down there, excess waste rock 45, good. And I think we'll build a third one over here, because why not?
Sector scanned.
Aha, another anomaly, and this is one of the best ones. This is an instant amount of research. Once you scan this, you'll just get an instant number of research points, and that's everything, because that will probably complete that, and that will triple our research from 100 to 300 a day, which is nice. There's the polymers thing, it's going off. Sometimes it produces polymers by doing that. Most of the time it doesn't, it just makes a lot of noise. The other things we're going to have to bring from Earth. We don't have a source of water here, and you don't really want to suck up the underground water reservoirs anyway, because they run out. And they run out before you realise it, and you're like, oh dear, we've run out of water and everyone's dying. So that's not great. So we're going to have to bring more moisture evaporators, probably like 4 or 5 of them. So we'll just load up another supply pod, prefab buildings, moisture evaporators. Yeah, you can only fit 4, that's probably going to be enough. Bring them here. And what else are we going to need? We're going to need our humans to actually produce things for us. I like having a small machine parts factory, a small electronics factory, and a polymer factory. Unfortunately, there is no small polymer factory, it's a big one or nothing. So we'll do that. Stirling generators are extremely expensive and we don't really need them. We have 3,000 cargo space left, let's just fill it with machine parts. Okay, apparently they weigh 2,000 each. There's 1,000 space left, so we'll just bring one drone. You can never have enough drones. We'll just launch that. I believe we have another supply pod. Yeah, okay. We'll leave that for now. We'll leave that for, like, emergencies. Anything we need right now, we'll just do that. There's another asteroid.
Research complete.
Excellent. That was 1,500 research. And it instantly did both of these things. That's awesome. So Sponsor went up 100 and Explorers went up 100. The total is now 300 a day instead of just 100 a day. That's excellent. That one's quite nice. It makes a flatbed better, so we'll just do that. We have done research, and we're doing farm. That's like the 3 base ones. Then I usually like to come all the way down the physics tree. I know I've just put one of these here, but it's cheap and it was here. No, maybe we will try and go all the way down the physics tree. Physics tree has all the good stuff. So most of my playthroughs, straight after looking for these 3 specific techs in these 3 specific trees, I usually like to go all the way down the physics tree. So let's see if we can do that, shall we? One other thing we should do is start building the sensor tower network, because this is actually getting quite slow. Okay, let's do that. Now we know that they're proximity based. Our first one is here, so it's basically covering these 9 squares. So the next one really wants to be here. So right click, infrastructure, sensor tower. These need 2 power. And luckily that's just one little baby solar panel. It does mean that it won't work at night, but that's okay. So that'll do these 9 squares. I don't think we want to build one here, because this is like unbuildable terrain. Next one will go here. I'm going to build 9 of these across the map. Hopefully equally spaced things. This one's already been uncovered, but we'll do one here anyway. But we're doing this not only for the faster scanning speed, but also for the advanced warning of disasters, both of which are things you really want. Aha, we have our first live dust devil. These things are evil. What these do, when they hit any of your buildings, they will instantly and immediately fill the maintenance bar. So they can absolutely cripple your base. So you don't want to build any buildings anywhere near where these things come from. As well as the swirly twirly... Yeah, there's another one there. As well as the swirly twirly ones, another sign of dust devils are these little black trails here. You see these little black snail trails? You don't want to build any buildings near here because you'll get a lot of dust devils. As you see, they just spin around all over the place. They roam around. They don't last all that long, but they last long enough to be annoying. There's another ping. Right, let's just build the final ramp with the drone control, and then we'll load up the flatbed with metals and machine parts. In fact, he's almost ready to go now. So what you do, we'll take them from this. Load the resource, go here, hold control, you want it to pick up 10 metals and 10 electronic parts. There he goes. In fact, I want him to pick up 15 metals. Okay, so his load is now full, which is great. In fact, we'll just build this thing here just so I can show you how it works. The drones will range around and try and find the resources, okay? They're not doing anything because there are no metals and no electronic parts to build these buildings. But they will automatically take them out of the back of the flatbed,
Anomaly
as you'll see.
analyzed.
Here they come. They're like, oh, resources, resources. Bim, bim, bim. Done. And now, all of a sudden, sensor tower boost 410. Easy. Right, let's put this guy back to work over here. The flatbed will go with him. And these two are just going to go around the map and build all of these mapped out sensor towers. That will give us huge scanning speed across the whole map and lots of advanced warning of disasters. Now, we still haven't found any water. The only thing we found is like 3 bits of concrete and this metals deposit. Again, you build a dome, you fill it with humans, you build a metals extractor, the humans work there during the day and they produce metals, and it will eventually run out. There's only 667 units there. We have, however, got all the waste rock we're ever going to need for this thing to build its rare metals. Indeed, there are 6 units of rare metals on the rocket already, and 34 out of 50 fuel, so this thing's getting closer to being ready to blast off. That's our moisture evaporators which we ordered. This is everything else which we ordered. We'll just stick it over here. The drones will take care of that. See, lots of the drones are sitting around doing nothing. That is something you actually want, because that means you've got enough drones. If your drones are not sitting around doing nothing, it means you don't have enough of them. Idle drones is a very good thing.
Scanned.
Oh, thank goodness that thing finished. Okay, just another unlock ping, but we'll do it. This ramp is probably nearly built already, yeah. I think they kind of ruined the game by adding the speed at which ramps and flattening terrain gets done. This game, when it came out, was absolutely hardcore. It was evil. And now it's just easy. Okay, first natural disaster. A cold wave. View message. Cold waves are imminent. The following buildings will freeze during cold waves. Water tanks. Outside buildings which are not operational for more than a saw. So anything that doesn't work for a whole day will freeze, and when things are frozen they stop working until the end of the cold wave, and then they will need a maintenance cycle from the drones and the resources to be spent to bring them back into operation. Not great. However, there are subsurface heaters which are uncovered by the physics tree. Told you the physics tree was good. And these consume water and heat the surrounding area, which negates all that. And the problem we're going to have with cold waves is that every single building consumes double power during cold waves. So, that means we're going to need to build at least another 4 of these. Probably another... more than that. So let's just build quite a lot of solar panels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just do a line to them. As long as they're all touching, it doesn't really matter. And then we'll just have to turn everything off at night. Because at night, this is going to require 6. That's going to require 4. That's going to require 10. Okay, maybe at night we'll turn this off. How much concrete have we got? Let's have a look up here. 60.
Anomaly analyzed.
Okay, when the cold wave hits, we'll turn that off at night. Because that'll need 6. That'll need... Oh, goddamn Dust Devil. See what I mean? The Dust Devil blew through, instantly filled that. Luckily for us, it only hit these. So these need 1 metal to be brought back into commission. God damn Dust Devils. I hate them with a passion. Right, the ramp has been made. That means these guys can get on with building the sensor towers. Excellent. We're basically just waiting for this thing to fill up with fuel so it can go away. We have more than enough power now. In fact, since we got that supply pod with 60 polymers on it, I think I am going to build a couple of power accumulators to save up this power. Just rotate it with R and T. We'll just kind of slap them in here. I believe each of these can produce 20 power each. I want to say 20. We'll have a look when they're built. They won't take long to build. Speaking of things that don't take long to build, the sensor tower has been built. A, because I'm running on 10 speed, and B, because they don't need much stuff. No. Okay, one problem. These sensor towers are going to need 4 power during the cold waves, so they're going to need 2 solar panels each. God damn it. That's slightly annoying. Okay, we got 1 Sol 6-hour warning of this disaster because we have 2 sensor towers. I believe the longest time, the longest warning you get is like 3 Sol 6 hours when you get 6 sensor towers. Do I want to build more sensor towers now? Because all they will be doing at the moment... Oh, look how lucky we are. The subsurface heater's right here. Alright, we'll put that second top. Decommissioning protocol is quite an important tech that lets you demolish, clear away destroyed buildings, so that's good, we'll do that. These, all the ones which are glowing are the ones which our RC Explorer has been uncovering with these pings. See, you can just jump ahead and do the ones you want. Farm, definitely yes. Subsurface heating on this map, apparently yes. Mars crowdfunding. We've got lots of money, we'll just right click to remove that. Extractor amplification. We'll just do physics, we'll just do all the physics ones. We'll just come down the physics tree. I don't really care about increasing the efficiency of the flatbed. Like 14 hours until the cold wave hits, but that's okay, we've got enough power. Yeah, these things are filling up. As they fill up, they actually physically expand, so you can tell at a glance how much power is in them. Max output from this is 20, so that one can provide 20 power at night, and this one can provide 20 power at night, so that's 40 power at night. Alright, apparently at night we're fine. You know what? We'll just run these at night as well now. I don't really care about that being on at night. Okay, discharging -5. That's okay. Because if we build the sensor towers right now, all they're going to do is need maintenance. Okay, cold waves up here. This is now needing 4 power. Everything in the base now needs double power, and for the duration of this, which is 1 Sol 15 hours. Yikes. Have we got enough power? No. Power production 60, total demand 60. That means the batteries are not being charged. This is a bad thing. Okay, we need more solar panels. Let's just build another couple of these. We'll do another 4 because why not? They only need metals. We have hundreds of metals. They're all over the place. So let's do that. Yeah, let's keep building the solar panels. Let's keep building all the sensor tower network. It's too important to ignore. I was going to put it off because what happens is, of course, the maintenance bar will go up and there's not going to be any drones in range to fix them, which means we'll have to just send out the flatbed and the commander with metals to fix them all. In fact, the commander should probably come up here and build that after he's built the next one.
Research complete.
Right, farm has been researched, that's great. Where are we going to put our dome? It's going to have to go over here somewhere, which means we're going to have to get rid of all the waste rock, but the drones can clear that away as we go. Right, domes. At the start of the game, you have a choice of 3 domes. Well, 4 if you use the self-sufficient. Self-sufficient domes just comes with an oxygen producer, 2 moisture evaporators, a water tower, an oxygen tank, a food depot, some power cables and pipes to connect them all. Don't really care about that, because then you're locked into where it wants to put these things. Right, microdomes are very, very small. They're too small. Don't use them. Even though they're really cheap, don't use them. You need room to expand. Barrel domes are quite nice. They have a lot of space, but they can't have a spire, and spires are really powerful. So I think we'll just go for a basic dome. As you see, the barrel dome does require 20 polymers. The basic dome only requires 10. The barrel dome is not twice as big as the basic dome. Basic domes have 6 pizza slices, which is what we call them. And barrel domes have 8 plus a couple of smaller ones, so it's not worth double the things to build it. So we will just be building a basic dome. This requires 80 concrete, 20 metals and 10 polymers, all of which we have lots of. In fact, we're kind of running out of metals. We only have 47. Yeah, because we've been building lots of solar panels, but that'll be fine. Right, basic dome. Yo, domes are big, yo. I would quite like to have it here. So maybe once the rocket goes away, yeah, once we blast off the rocket, we'll build the dome here, so it's in range of to get that research boost. As you will notice, there is a blue ring around the dome, and that is the range at which humans can work out in buildings outside the dome, and at which range it will get bonuses from these map pings. So, yeah, we could build it all the way over here, but because of the polymer spawner, we can't get it close enough. It's going to have to go where the rocket is, so as soon as the rocket blasts off, we'll build the dome here. Right, job done. And indeed, the rocket is actually ready to blast off. It's taken us till Sol 8 to do it. It needs to bring humans back here by Sol 15. I'm kind of debating... No, just send it. Right, click this button, return to Earth, blast off, away you go.
Milestone achieved.
Boom. Drones with no controller. Okay. What happened then is that all the drones which were being controlled by the rocket have transferred themselves, as many as could, into the drone hub. And this can only hold 20 drones at the moment, so there was 21. So what we'll do, we'll just assign this guy to the RC commander. An RC commander can have 5, so we'll just assign that little dude there. There he goes. Oh. And this silly little swine is going to try and drive all the way across the map during a cold wave. Building's not working. Yeah, sensor towers, because there's not enough power for them. You know, we did do a milestone. Right, I think this is a good place to stop this episode. It was a lot of me talking and explaining mechanics, but that's just how these things go. You know, that's how they go. RC Commander and Flatbed are going to have to come up here to fix this. When we come back, we will be building a dome and kitting it out with all the stuff that humans need. Then we're going to be bringing humans to Earth, so we can actually hit our sponsor goal of 4,000 research. And we've exported 11 out of 60 rare metals as well, so we're making good progress on our timed things. Come back and see how we get on with this long winter. Until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon.